Hey guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and today I'm going to make a couple of egg custard recipes. Our chickens are doing so well. We have a ton of extra eggs right now. We've been sharing them with friends and family, but I just felt like cooking, baking, doing something. So I asked Chris, I said, what kind of recipe do you like? I started reading off a couple of egg custard recipes and he just said yes. Just yes. So I decided to pull two of them. They're very similar, a lot of the same ingredients, but one is considered a crustless egg pie. Reminds me of my mom's impossible pie that's made with coconut, which I will have to make that for you guys sometime. Love it. Absolutely a family favorite. The second one is just like a baked, I think it was called baked grandma's custard. I'm going to leave the Pinterest links down in the description below. So if you want to go and look at their links where I got the recipes, they are down below. So dinner's already in the oven. I cooked up a bunch of meals yesterday. I'm ahead of the game. Rice is already cooking on the stove. So dinner is done. I just have to whip a salad together. And while this stuff is cooking, we're gonna have dinner. So let me flip the camera around. I'll show you all the ingredients laid out. I chose these because they were simple, easy. They cooked at the same temperature. They cooked for the same time, and they used almost all the same ingredients. So I just thought we'd give it a try and see which one we liked, because I really wanted to make creme brulee, but I had no heavy whipping cream. And at this time, I'm not going to the store for heavy whipping cream. So let me grab the camera, flip it around, and I'll show you what we've got. All right, guys, I have the ingredients separated on two sides of the table here. And this one is for the crustless egg custard pie. And it calls for 4 eggs and a cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of vanilla to be blended together first. Second step is a half a cup of melted butter, half a cup of all-purpose flour, and my pinch of salt. And after that is blended, we will add 2 cups of warm milk. It will bake at 350 for 45 minutes after it has rested for 5 minutes. So this is all one recipe right here. The second recipe caught my interest because it called for 6 farm fresh eggs. The recipe was very specific about it needing farm fresh eggs, which we have. So I have my 6 farm fresh eggs, 3 cups of milk, half a cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then it calls for nutmeg at the end. When you take it out, just sprinkle the top with nutmeg, which I'll pull that out at the time. It bakes at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes until set. So these just looked super simple, quick, easy. I can go ahead and whip them together and pop them in the oven, and they can cook away while we have dinner, and we'll have dessert late tonight while we watch a movie. So let me grab my mixing bowl and start mixing the first one, which is right here. All right, I just warmed my milk. I'm gonna let that cool off a tiny little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my eggs. It's my 4 eggs, my cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons vanilla. Let's go ahead and whisk this well. And it says whisk until they are light and fluffy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, you can see how light the eggs are. There's no chance that the yolk and the whites are separate at all. They're super blended, so you don't want any chance of separation. I'm going to add my melted butter, my flour, and my pinch of salt. And blend. Okay, my batter is super creamy. Now I'm going to slowly add my warm milk in while stirring. All right, now it says to let the batter rest for 5 minutes before you put it into the pie pan to cook. So I am gonna just set this to the side and start on the next one. Okay, so this recipe says that you can pour everything into a blender or use a hand mixer. I'm gonna use the hand mixer just because I have it and it's easy and I don't wanna have to drag out a blender. So let me go ahead and get my eggs going, and there's no order. It says literally just dump everything in and mix. So we'll do that. All right, there are my 6 eggs. My 3 cups of milk. Half a cup of maple syrup. Get every bit of that goodness stuff out of there because that's expensive stuff. Teaspoon of vanilla. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I am just gonna blend this with the hand mixer. All right, I have a casserole dish. This is the second recipe, the grandma's custard. I have it oiled, and I'm just gonna pour it into here. My oven is already set for 350. And then I'm just gonna set this to the side while I get the pie recipe, the pie custard, into its dishes. Okay, I have my greased pie pans ready to go. And I'm gonna get this in here. All right, I'm gonna get these in the oven at 350. Okay, timer is set, oven is on, our dinner is out. This is gonna be our lunch tomorrow, dinner tonight. Rice is done. I'm gonna whip up a salad and we are gonna eat while dessert bakes away. This is what we're having for dinner. If you're curious, I scrapped the salad and decided just to whip up some zucchini and squash, a little bit of bacon grease, a little bit of coconut oil mixed together, seasoned it up real nice. There is our Salisbury steak over some jasmine rice, applesauce, Vital Red, trying to boost our immune system, and of course, my tea. So we're gonna go chow down on this while we wait for dessert to cook. Guys, I just took them out of the oven. Very different colors. I wish I'd have shown you before I started sprinkling the pumpkin pie spice. The recipe suggested either nutmeg or pumpkin pie spice. I decided the pumpkin pie spice, and I realized the consistency. Can you see this? I had a couple of clumps, so I was kind of smoothing out the clumps, and you can see that it is just jiggly. So I'm gonna have to let this cool down some before we can try it. So this one is set nicely. So it is a little after 9. Chris and I are watching a movie, so we'll probably give it a good half hour or so to cool down some before we dish it up and give it a try. Okay guys, here they are all dished up, and they are completely different consistencies. This one right here was the crustless custard pie, and you can see it came out so clean. And this was the grandma's custard, and there's a lot of liquid left in the bottom. It came out pretty good, but it is very liquidy left in the bottom. So I'll let you get a close-up of it, see what it looks like here. So I'm gonna take it into my resident taste tester and see what he thinks. All right, I have my taste tester. Gonna try my 2 desserts here and see what he thinks.
Okay, I'll try this one first.
Is that the pie one?
I guess.
That's shaped like a triangle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It tastes good. It's really soft and kind of custardy in the middle, and it's a little firmer on the bottom and the top.
Okay.
And it's not too sweet. It's
And that's
pretty
the
good.
one made with real sugar, like regular white sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
What is that called?
That was the custard pie.
Okay, and what is this called?
That is Grandma's custard pudding or something. Baked custard, Grandma's baked custard.
I like this one much better.
The pie one.
Yeah.
The other one, what do you...
It's got the consistency of like kind of like egg whites that haven't been cooked all the way through.
Okay,
It's
and I
not-
did cook it an extra 10 minutes than what the recipe said,
Yeah.
and it still seems like it needed a little bit more. So
Yeah, yeah. This is sweeter, but not too sweet. It's good. This
Okay.
one seems like for a dessert it should be a little sweeter.
Okay, seems like we have a
So
winner.
yeah, I like this one, the first one better.
All right, we have a winner. All right, guys, I'm gonna try mine. And like I said, I did cook this longer than what it said, and it just seemed like it needed a little bit more time. Oh, I like that. You can taste the maple in it. I think that once it completely cools, it might set up a little bit more and not be quite so runny. Try this one. That one is good also. It's a completely different flavor. This would be good if you sprinkled some sugar on the top and then took a torch to it, kind of like you do with creme brulee. But both of them are really good, but I can see how Chris likes this one better. This one, I don't know. I think it might be really good if I went ahead and cut it in sections and took it out of the liquid that it's sitting in and let it cool. I think it might firm up a little bit. Both of them are great recipes. This is definitely has more consistency and firmness to it. And I will try and do that impossible pie, which is very similar to this one, sometime soon, and post that recipe. It is a family favorite. We've been eating it since I was a kid. Love it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Have a great night.